Okay, so today we are going to learn the song My Testimony, which is in the key of E, and we will use this song to also learn about dynamic. Okay, we'll talk a little bit of the rhythm as part of the dynamic, but then we will not focus on the rhythm but dynamic in general. Okay, so the song is in the key of E, but you do have several choices though, right? You can play the song in just the key of E, and you can play it in the key of D using capo 2, and you can play the song in the key of C, capo 4, right? So the question is, which one is best? For me, the best is E, just because the root chord which is E, when you strum it, then you get a very full sound. Okay, and this is the number one chord, the chorus chord, the climax chord. So you do want this to be very powerful for songs like this song. You know, you want soft in the beginning, loud, and you want really hard strum. Then yes, you do want to play it. You do want to have this kind of chords where it's very full, right? The E, the A, they're very full. Compare this, for example, to D, capo 2, right? Because the D chord, you get only 4 strings, right? So the chord itself becomes very light, very sparse, if you will, and so it's not too powerful. Now, if you move to C with capo 4, you do get more strings, right? Now you have 5 instead of 4 strings. Again, if you play it in E, you get 6 strings. Okay, but if you C, you get 5 strings. But then, because you capo it, then the chord itself also is higher in terms of the tone. So you get this very light. Okay, so so this is also not powerful, and it depends on the kind of feel you want to achieve with the song. It could still work, you know. It's a lot more folksy if you use capo 4 and C. And let me just show you, okay? And I'm gonna compare C with capo 4 versus E. Okay, and this is the chorus. Yeah, let's do C first. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Okay, compare these two. If you play it in the key of E, it's a lot more powerful. This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. Right? So it's a lot more powerful. So that's number one. So that's why for songs like this, you know, like opening song, the song that you need power, you need dynamic, I always go to E. Again, just because you get the whole range of the strings, the whole range of the dynamic. And also, it is a lot easier to play the inversions of the chord. You know, you have E, A, B over here, but then you also have it over here. Okay? So now, not only you have all the 6 strings, you have 2 sets of chords. Okay, so again, to summarize, point number 1, when you get a song, consider, you know, which key you want to play it in. Do you want to capo it? Do you not want to capo it? For sweeter songs, I would probably capo it and play it a little bit high over here. But again, for songs like this that you need power, I would go for E. You know? And sometimes I would also, even for songs that is in G, for example, like How Great Is Our God, if I need more dynamic range, I would, instead of playing it in G, I would capo 3 and play it in E, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 is the rhythm. Now the actual song, they use 2 rhythms. They change midway, I think in the second chorus. Okay, but for our purpose today, we will going to learn just one rhythm, because this is the harder, in fact, out of the 2. So if you can do this, the other one is easy. Okay? So if you see my screen share there are 4 patterns there, but they're 4 strumming patterns, but they're actually the same rhythm. Okay, so let's go through it from the easiest to the hardest. Okay, so it's very simple in the beginning. This is the accent, the most important part. Okay, I 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1. Okay, so you see the blue is when you strum the bass, and the light yellow is when you strum the treble here. Okay, so how do you sing it with this rhythm? I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, something like that. Okay, so if you're already comfortable with that, you can actually add a lot of the small strums in between. They are not accents, okay, but they do feel the space in between. Okay, so this will make the strumming more full, but not the fullest you can. Okay, so let's go to number 2. 1 2 1 and okay, let me show you here. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Sing it. I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover. Okay, so let's go to number 3. Now you add up strum. Okay. Let's do it slower. Okay. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay. Again, you're just adding up strum in between, before number 2 and after 3. Okay. Okay, let's go from 2 to 4. Okay, now number 3. Sing it. I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover. Okay, if you play it in full speed, it's gonna sound like. Now the last one is the same. Number 4 is the same as number 3, but then you do add an accent. Okay, so this is maybe a little bit harder, but you will train how to control the accent well. You know, this is a good song to practice the accent well, because this creates the syncopation, which actually makes the song very catchy. Okay? Let's play number 3 and then number 4 without accent. play it faster. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, let's sing it. I saw Satan fall like lightning. I saw darkness run for cover. Okay, alright, so let's keep that rhythm and go to lesson number 3 about the dynamic. Okay, so and so this is only applicable if you are plugged in, if you use an amplifier. Okay, so right now my volume is 40%. Okay, I have an amplifier here which you may not be able to hear, but let me up the volume to 90%, and I think you can hear the amplifier. So, okay. This is 90%. So I will strum slowly, but you can still hear. Right? Now, if I lower the volume, obviously the speaker won't give out loud enough sound. Right? But I can strum harder to get to the same volume. Right? This is non-amplified, but I strum harder versus amplified, but then I strum a lot gentler. Okay, so the lesson here is if you are plugged in, if you play plugged in, so you have to set the volume here on your guitar so that your hardest strum should be a little bit too loud. Okay, that your hardest strum should be a little bit too loud. Okay, so that when you need the power, then you get to strum really hard without breaking the speaker. And the point of that is when you strum hard, you get that acoustic feeling, you know, of the string that you don't get if you just crank up the volume and then you strum slowly. Let me give you an example. So this is high volume. Okay, but I'm gonna strum gently, okay, for the chorus. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story, I'll testify. Okay, so I'm strumming gently here because anything harder than this, it will be way too loud. But then there's not a lot of power there compared to this. I'm gonna turn down the volume completely and I'm gonna strum hard. This is my testimony from death to life. Grace rewrote my story, I'll testify. Okay, so there you go. So when you play plugged in, adjust the volume so that when you strum the hardest, then it becomes just a little bit too loud, you know. So you don't want to strum really hard. So you want to go maybe like 90%. So your 90% should be comfortably loud, you know, should be the climax. By the climax you should be using 90% of your strumming power. Okay, so you don't really rely on the amplifying, because then you might go over, you know, the volume. Okay, let's see if this can focus. Anyway, okay, so that again, so that's the volume. Keep that in mind when you play plugged in. And then 2 more things. Again, this is all related to dynamic. Okay, the distance from the string. So I don't know if you can see it here. Yes. You know, okay, here. Yes. Okay. So the string, I guess over here. Okay. So when you strum, how deep are you strumming? Are you strumming just with the tip of the pick, or do you strum all the way inside? Because it's gonna make a lot of difference in how the string sounds. Okay, I'll compare to you. So I will play identical, just E, and I will play and I will strum closer and closer, meaning the string will be plucked not just by the tip of the pick, but going deeper and deeper. Okay, so for example, if you just use the tip of the pick, you will have this very light sound, right? But if you strum all the way inside, then it will be a lot heavier, right? Compared to, okay, let's hear it during strumming. So this is very light. You probably can't even hear it. Let me up the volume a little bit. Okay. So I'm just barely using the pick. So just the tip of it, just the tip. Okay. So let's go deeper. I want you to pay attention that I'm not strumming harder, I'm just strumming deeper into the string. Okay, again. Okay, so keep that in mind, and this can be used, for example, when we sing verse 2 towards the chorus. So I will sing the end of verse 2 and chorus, but then the rhythm is the same, the chord is the same, but I will strum deeper, and then you will hear it a lot more full. Okay. My name is registered in heaven, my praise belongs to you forever. This is my testimony, from death to life. His grace rewrote my story, I'll testify. Right, did you hear the? Hopefully you hear the difference, okay, between the two. One is very light, one is a lot louder, a lot more whole, if you will. But then I'm not strumming harder, because during the verses you do already want to strum hard, meaning you want a lot of the acoustic sound to it, so you strum with more angle here. So not just this, but right, more movement. But then you don't want it to be too loud, so you only use the tip of the pick. Okay, again for the verse, for the chorus, first. So again, I'm not necessarily strumming harder. Maybe that was like maybe 50 to 60% of power, but then you do get a lot more fuller sound when you strum deeper into the string. So keep that in mind. Lastly, this is again a really good song for you to learn dynamic, and that is, you have to practice your strumming accuracy. Okay, so you have the three kind of bass-ish string and the three treble-ish string, and you can actually separate it: top, low, mid, and high. So when you strum, you have to be very conscious, very accurate where you're strumming. And obviously, if you're playing chords like D, you cannot strum all 6 strings, because it's just gonna sound awful, right? So you have to only strum the bottom 4. Okay. So when you're strumming a song like this is how you can add dynamic. Okay. Now I want to strum, and as I strum, I want to move the strumming from top, from low, mid, high, and then everything. Okay, see if you can catch the difference. Of course, it is important for you when you strum. If you want to strum the upper string, you have to make sure you get the bass as well. And that's why I really like doing this in the key of E, because it gives you a lot of leniency. You know, if you play in the key of D, definitely you only have the high and mid, because you don't have the low, because this is G string, so you don't have that. So in fact, if you accidentally strum it, your chord will sound kind of awful. Also, for example, if you play the A here, you definitely don't want to strum everything, because that becomes A on E. Or if you play, say, D minor here in the key of C, and you play D minor, you do not want to strum the bass strings, right? That is totally off. So you have to be accurate, and you have to make sure the bass is included when you strum. Otherwise, it's just going to be a nondescript chord that you're playing. Okay, so now again, up, low string, mid, and then high, and then everything. Low again, mid, high, and then everything. Okay, so with the key of E, then you will have one, just in the key of E and the chord E, you have actually 6 different dynamic now, just for one chord. You have E, that's low. Okay, like I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover. That is just the low over here. And then what if I play this using the mid strings? Yes, right? I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover. Now I want to note that I make a habit of holding the bass with my middle finger, just to make it not ring. But then still practice the accuracy though, because you don't always get the privilege of having a free finger to hold the the string that you don't want to vibrate. Okay. And what about high? I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover. Okay, so very different feel, and it's kind of up to you. Then you also have another 3 over here. Okay, so then suddenly you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's put it in practice. So what if verse 1 I'm gonna play light, I'm gonna play all the high strings. Verse 2 I'm gonna play the low strings, and then for the chorus I'm gonna use everything. Okay, and I'm just gonna use this set of chord over here. Okay, not going here. It just means that we cut down our option in half. But let's do this. I saw Satan fall like lightning, I saw darkness run for cover, but the miracle that I can get over, my name is registered in heaven. I believe in signs and wonders, I have resurrection power. Still the miracle that I can get over, my name is registered in heaven. My praise belongs to you forever. This is my testimony, dead to life. His grace rewrote my story, I'll testify. Yeah, like that. Okay, so let's summarize everything. So number one, and this is, we're not even talking using a different rhythm to change the dynamic, to change the feel of the song. So this is all done using one rhythm, okay, one rhythm, but then different patterns. And then that's number one. Number two, pick the right key. Okay, so I'm definitely rooting for E here for this song. Even though you have the option of capo-ing 2, playing in D, and capo-ing 4, playing in C, but I do think E in this song gives you the most power, the most option for the widest dynamic range. So you should go with E. Unless you have, you know, the other people, you have other musicians helping you, then maybe my second choice would be capo 4 and playing it as C over here, because it's I think very nice. It has very nice voicings there. So that's number two. Number three, amplified or not. So you do want to have that acoustic feeling of strumming really hard. So adjust the volume. Okay, adjust the volume. So you have to be able to strum really hard at around 80%. Okay, so 80%. Don't just rely on the amplifying to get the volume. Okay, so do try to strum hard to get the volume, because it gives the power also. And number four, pay attention to distance, the distance of the edge, I guess the chord, the tip of the pick to the string. Okay, strum light or strum deeper into the string will give you very different results. Again, if I strum lightly just with the tip, if I go deeper, one thing I have to note though, if you strum deeper, you will also feel it in your left hands, in your left fingers. You will feel it a lot more tension. Okay, so that is saying that you are doing it right. Okay, and the sound will be a lot more full because the string will ring a lot longer too. And lastly, low and high, and medium, and then full strum. Okay, low, high, medium, and then the entire thing. Okay, it's gonna be a lot more obvious if I play it here, I guess. See? Low, high, medium, and then everything. Okay, let me do this one last time, okay, to make it clear. And everything. Low, medium, and then high. Okay, yeah, that's all. Hopefully those are helpful for you. Practice. Thank you.